I was born in 3023. Humans had already conquered space. Even though it was easy to travel to the farthest galaxy, we'd always thought Earth would be home. But we were wrong. And we had to leave.
Attention pilots. Dredge stingers are attacking the escape vehicle.
Deploy the last wave of fighters.
Next generation filmed animation.
Something extremely realistic about this film and the way it looks and feels.
The opportunity with this picture, I think, is to kind of intrigue adults who are, also intrigued by the kind of amazing inroads to animation and special effects.
I love animation. That's why I'm through all these voices. Because I'm a big fan of it. And I just got so tired of the singing cartoons that this one had grit, it was dramatic, it was action-packed.
This is a movie called Titan AE. AE stands for After Earth.
Earth has been blown up, and now Earthlings are kind of the marginal society of the universe.
Humans. Wait.
The story is about a boy thrown into a situation beyond his control and being told that the destiny of the world is at his hands.
I happen to be humanity's last great hope.
I weep for the species.
Akima and Kale, they're both human in a world where I think they feel very distinctly different from many other creatures that are running about.
Without a planet, we're no longer a threat.
She's a female fighter pilot. That's very sexy.
We've got to lose him.
The Dredge is the evil villain in this case, and it's a single entity that can become many entities. The Dredge are pure energy, and there's no way to beat them.
The Dredge wants you, only dead.
How do you know they want me dead? We have about 26 animators. There's a total of about 312 artists and technicians on the movie. Every scene is a difficult scene to do. There is so much eye candy and so much going on that it makes it difficult to get the scenes through the system.
Where you begin to make some drawings here and there saying, what do the characters look like? What's Kale like? If he's a tough guy with a chip on his shoulder. Is he well-built? Is he sort of a skinny guy? Well, those images are dictated by the voice. So if you listen to Matt Damon's voice, then there's a certain way in my head that he will look.
If I don't like the way things are going, I'll show you how much like my father I really am.
Matt Damon and Drew Barrymore and I were in this session in New York. And there's a lot about this process that reminds me more of improv, because all the details of the story and the different aspects of the journey were also kind of roughed out, and then they're constantly evolving, that you have to be just accessible when you come in to do sessions.
You look so silly doing it. You can't feel too embarrassed at how it looks, because it's got to sound right,
Next time, plot us a course that takes us around the shiny pretty things.
I play Goon. He's kind of a goofy, little mad scientist alien character.
Multiply by the coefficient of the friction.
Yeah, when they give you the script, you get the character. So I said, let me try this thing. I've been wanting to do this sort of Peter Lorre, futuristic. His voice, that talks this way. And that's where we ended up with that character.
But I plot new route through Saber Quadrant.
And I'd have to take a huge week break of talking, because the voice really strained my vocal cords.
Tap into the central computer.
You come in and you do your verbal work, and then they may animate around that.
Well, I'll kill him. Creed, I'll kill you. Okay, I will kill you. Oh! Listening to the recordings, it's almost like shutting your eyes to listen to the acting, and then you almost have to put your life experience into it. I can listen to a bit of dialogue, and I'll know that you have to put a real subtle head shake in there. You got to do some real subtle things with the eyes, like if they're talking through their teeth or something, then you actually have to capture the essence of the performance.
We need a pickup here.
A little late for that.
So Don will then storyboard. After that, what we do is then build an animatic. That means that he takes the storyboard and then we put dialogue track to it, and you can actually get the moving comic at that stage.
They're locking down the doors.
Not going forward, going up.
No matter how good your animators are, when you start dealing with human characters, we all know how we move. So we shoot an awful lot of live-action reference to the human characters in our films.
We set the thing up, we bring the actors in, the director explains to them where they are, what they're going to be doing, and then we get a performance.
We'll pick maybe 5 poses out of a scene, exaggerate them, solidify the arcs, put animation principles into it, and try to capture the essence of that performance.
After the animator's done the key drawings, it goes to our assistants, and they'll finish off any keys that are kind of half done. Then we'll go to an in-between department, which will do all the in-between motion. So if you have a key here of a guy holding a glass and his other key is here, you'll have all these drawings in betweens.
Regular live-action camera speed is 24 frames a second. More often than not, we have to do 24 drawings a second. People will ask me, like, how long would it take to, get your arm to move up? And I'd say, well, it depends on, sometimes it can take 60 drawings, sometimes it can take 1 drawing. It just depends on how fast you want it to move.
When animation has finished and rough in between has finished, it comes into our department. And what we do is we get the scene and put the final graph outline on. But before that, we also make sure that design is following through. And to help us in that, we get model sheets of every character. And what we basically do is we try and make all the characters look the same throughout the film.
If the director, Don, wants to move the camera, that instantly calls for a 3D environment. It would be very tough to move a lot of or paint 3D backgrounds or 2D backgrounds that move. Another case would be a lot of the animation of props, be them handheld props or in the scale of the ships.
This is one of the props used for live-action reference for the animation. For the 3D scenes, all that reference is scanned in. To help me in animating him, I could then again use the prop and hold it and see how he's supposed to move with it.
It was our assignment to create a man in a spacesuit. We taped them up rather efficiently so that we could get some marking points for which to reg our 3D prop to. So the next thing we had to do, we worked on building the spacesuited man in the computer. So we got the suit man built, put the two together, and we came up with a result looking like that. Using the same spaceman, the next test was to see if you can walk. Taking the same character, walking, we turned half a walk into a full walk cycle. There's a great advantage to doing it 3D. And came up with this. We said, wait a minute, what if we didn't mean to shoot him from that angle? What if the intention was we need spacemen walking all over the space station? Move your camera, you got the same prop, it's already built.
Once they do that, they've got it to a place where we could scan that into a computer and then assign colors to all of those shapes that are on the character. And then the real job is what color?
We're using certain color principles. For example, a lot of Earth-type situations are very much in warm, green, very earthy palettes. Electronic colors, we restrict it to the dredge.
At the same time that's happening, we have created the sets in a whole nother department. So what's behind those characters have been drawn. What we do is we paint those. That's still a very hand process. Those then are scanned into the computer, and there in the computer we may light those differently, we'll change the colors, we'll make it look more realistic, and then we'll bring that background and the character that we've colored together.
98% of the movie is special effects. It's very important that the work that goes into the 3D animation of effects, characters, all that stuff, is mixed with the 2D drawn effects so that the audience always believes that it's all part of the same picture. Everyone has seen the 3D explosions in most live-action movies. Here, it has to be designed to fit in the movie, but also designed to look beautiful. If it's a beautiful explosion that makes you go, wow, I think you've done your job there.
I'm working on the construction or the destruction of the Earth, and what I've got is a wireframe model of the Earth here that was taken from a scanned image of fault lines drawn on the continents, then wrapped around the sphere. Then take these 2D images and cut out the object and explode it on out as pieces of the world just flying apart. Each of these pieces represent one of the cut items from the sphere, so they all have mass and they fly out in 3D space. It's one of many things that I get to destroy here at Fox Animation. It's kind of fun.
We previously worked on Star Wars Episode 1. This is the sequence at the end of the film where our good guy spaceship is trying to finally discover the Titan. And there were some great storyboards of it, and then there was some stuff that I wanted to try some different ideas with. When we build the sequence, we've got final shots like this mixed with animatics like this, because we only want to work on a shot in the final form if we know that we need it. The environment was given to us, which was this ice crystal environment, and we loved that because it allowed us to play this cat and mouse reflection game rather than just a chase. One day we got a brainstorm that we should have these crystals that are constantly moving around and being kind of dangerous. Two of them collide with each other, and that forms a cavern around the ship. So that allows us to have a motivated way that the Phoenix gets in there, and then we can play over all of our games with all the 1,000 images. We have this crystal cavern that was around them, constantly closing in during the course of the scene, just to heighten the danger a little bit. And what you get at the end of the whole thing is a blueprint for the entire sequence. You get to play with spaceships. It's the closest thing to being an astronaut I can do.
It is an evolving, collaborative journey.
There's a lot of action in it, and it doesn't let you rest.
Boys will be like into the action, and girls will feel empowered.
So much cool stuff going on. Ships being blown up, aliens.
They want people to go in and see something they haven't seen before.
There's just something really, for the lack of a better word, trippy about it.
I think that they're going to sit back and be taken on a journey that is visually so different.
It's not your song and dance animated movie.
It's a dirtier film. It's down to earth. It's grungy. It's an all-star cast, and the film has that edgy quality to it.
It's not the soft, cuddly characters that you're accustomed to.
It just takes you back like that. That's what I'm hoping.
It's going to be rock and roll. It's going to be fast. It's going to be hard.